republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will move into our consent agenda.
Deep breath. All right, I move that we approve the vouchers and payrolls from last month. The vouchers and payments we made were $880,765.14. We had two payrolls, they totaled $524,992.37. Makes a grand total expenditures of $1,405,757.51.
You're on the right month.
No.
You're reading last month's.
All right, let's
Start all over.
Say it again.
All right, let's try again. Still move that we approve the vouchers that we paid last month. But they were $502,315.26. Payrolls were $510,707.85. We had just a couple voids there. Total expenditures were $1,012,996.30. And then I move we approve the minutes from our last meeting.
That motion.
All right, it's been moved by Steve, second by Wes. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. If you were here this evening, you notice that we're a little down on numbers. We had a board member who moved out of the district, so his application, his seat is vacant, and if you are interested, see the administration office. The applications are due by Friday.
Yes.
Yes.
The 10th, and it is the Bourbon seat.
Bourbon
so you
seat.
must be a resident
Bourbon.
of Bourbon.
Yeah.
The town.
The town of Bourbon. And Mr. Boyer is absent for the evening. So we will move on to patrons' comments if there are any. Anyone have questions so far? No? All right, we will move into personnel.
All right, multiple here with ECA. I'm going to go ahead and lump those together, just simply because they're lumpable, I guess. So I'd like to recommend the approval of Lisa Hammond as the 6th grade volleyball volunteer assistant coach, Lisa Beamish as the girls wrestling assistant coach, Connor Stetzel as the theater department co-director, recommendation for Candace Haynes as the theater department co-director, and one that is not on your agenda, but we, as the season comes to an end for the girls golf, Ben Weymouth, who we had previously accepted or recommended and approved as a volunteer coach, actually ended up doing the girls assistant golf coach. So he will be paid for his efforts there. So I would make the recommendation. He acted as an assistant all year, but originally was recommended as a volunteer.
Move we approve those as presented.
Is this Lisa Hammond, the teacher, Lisa Hammond?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just checking. I would vote yes either way, but I will second your motion.
It's moved by Steve, second by Wes. Any discussion? More discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 3-0.
All right, under certified staff, I make the recommendation to approve the resignation of Rick Yarbrough as the high school assistant principal effective 9/14 of 2025. And then I'll just go ahead and do that one by itself. So I want to thank him for his efforts, wish him the best at Olivet High School.
I don't like doing it, but I will make the motion to approve his resignation.
Been moved by Wes, second by Steve. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 3-0.
The second recommendation here, I recommend the approval of Amy Overmeyer as the Mace Insurance trustee. She represents the Triton Teachers Association. We do have 2 votes when we go to the Mace meetings. It is my vote and the Teachers Association representative. Obviously, with Teresa Watkins not being here this year, she's been the long-standing representative. Amy just joined us. We do actually have to accept that in one of our board member meetings before she can actually make a vote at the meeting. So the meeting we went to last week, she was unable to vote for that, but she had just come on as wanting to be that representative. So
Move we approve Amy as the Mace Insurance trustee for Triton Community Schools.
Second.
Been moved by Steve, second by Wes. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 3-0.
All right, under classified staff, the first two here, I'd like to make the recommendation. There again, similar to what Wes said just a second ago, I hate to recommend the resignation of Paula Meredith. She is going to be moving to Indianapolis with closer to her son and his and other family there. Currently, she's our special needs bus driver. That's going to be effective 10/22 of 25. There is conversation that was had today that may be sooner than that, just based on the sale of their house and her moving. There's been a lot of stuff going on over there. But Tori Kistler, I would also make the recommendation to approve Tori Kistler as the special needs bus driver. So we'll be losing Paula. Tori will move in there, and we'll be looking for the replacement for Tori's route.
You know, sorry to see Paula go, but approve that resignation and the hire.
Second.
Been moved by Steve, second by Wes. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 3-0.
All right, I'd like to make the recommendation to approve Annika Spangle as an elementary instructional assistant.
I'll move we approve Annika. I assume it's a her.
Second.
It's been moved by Wes, seconded by Steve. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 3-0.
I don't know that officially we have to accept the resignation of Ken Miller, but we're going to do that just to be safe. So I make the recommendation to accept the resignation of school board member Ken Miller and thank him over and over again for his service and just dedication to this board, but also our community, especially our school corporation. He is a trusted advocate for kids, was in multiple what I would consider difficult meetings and just represented extremely well this board to parents or constituents. So he will be a great loss, but we are looking for the next great one.
Move we approve that with deep sorrow, I guess is what I want.
I second that with the same sentiment.
I agree. Ken will be missed. All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. On to other business.
All right, I'd like to make the recommendation to approve the 2026 budget along with the appropriation reduction resolution. Just a reminder on that is Tom has been working hard on the budget to prepare all of that. We know as soon as we send that to the state, they will send it back with what needs to be cut. So the appropriation reduction resolution just simply allows Tom or I, if in certain categories we can remove items or cut that down to meet the budget, that you give us the ability to do that.
Move we approve the budget and approve the appropriation reduction resolution.
Second.
Been moved by Steve, second by Wes. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 3-0.
I'd like to make the recommendation to approve the 25-26 emergency preparedness plan. That is the corporation plan. So our audience and everybody's aware there is a building level plan and there's building level plan. So there's a high school, junior, senior high school plan and an elementary plan. This is the corporation plan that is to be brought before the board. Usually that is worked on in July. And so we just simply made some updates, obviously with staffing, new leadership. We met with Ryan Stewart from the Department of Education, who is the school safety specialist. He worked with us on some items that we needed to just update because of current laws, one of those being the armed intruder drill needing to be done within the first 90 days and communicating with parents. All of those things made their way into the emergency preparedness plan. So not a lot of changes, but definitely some updates to that. And that is one of those things that continuously is updated as needed. But in the end, we need to get that approved by the board.
I move we approve the 25-26 emergency preparedness plan.
I'll second that.
Moved by Wes, seconded by Steve. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 3-0.
All right, and then last but not least, I'd like to make the recommendation for the new baseball field fence. As you can see, the grass is growing on that field. Hostetler's always does a really nice job of preparing those fields. So the infield dirt was put in today. I do think it's important just for the transparency piece of that. I think oftentimes there's questions asked within, whether that's municipalities or within corporations, school corporations, of how can we or why do we build a new baseball diamond? But then when we start talking about teacher contracts and those type of things that like how can we do this, but we can't do this, understanding that those are out of two very different pots. Some people have asked, why did we put a baseball diamond in? 2 years ago, our junior high and our who used to always be, back in the day, used to be 13, 15. Then they also kind of moved into a different league that they would play during the summertime. All of those schedules are now in the spring. So they're the same time period as the varsity baseball games. And so oftentimes there's conflicts on, we'd send our junior hires out in the middle of a soccer field to hit them fly balls, and just, in the end, just didn't, and or when a junior high game was happening, our varsity players had to find a place to go. We are blessed with the fields for volleyball, for softball. There are multiple fields down there, and we know that gets tight when Little League starts and all of that, but there are multiple places to practice if for some reason somebody else has a game. So there's been questions asked about that, and I just want to make sure everybody understands that. All of that is to say that this is simply for the baseball diamond had already been approved. This is for the fencing that's going to go around that. We are not going to fence the entire field in. It is not going to be used as a competition field. It's simply going to be used as a practice field. So the fence is going to look like it's 120 feet down the line. It's not going to have an outfield fence right now. If somebody wants to, or if we need to eventually finish that, we can. But right now it is simply for practice to make sure baseballs are not going out into the parking area or the driveway. So it is not going to be unfinished. It's going to be unfinished on purpose, but not as to look unfinished as like, what are they doing? So all transparency pieces that just want to make sure that if there's questions asked, I'll be glad to answer those, but you guys can answer those as well.
And while we're on that, I think we recognized it before, but I'd like to thank Craig Hawley and his, the tile company, the name lost me, but they.
Farmers Drainage.
Farmers Drainage, and then whoever
Probably
the
Springfield.
supplier was donated the tile.
Yeah,
But,
probably.
Craig donated his time and labor there to put tile in there to make that usable for a baseball field. So just want to say thank you.
So I move that we approve,
That was really a recommendation for the fence. I just wanted to put something on that.
I move we approve that recommendation. I'm excited to get a second baseball field that we can practice on for our kiddos.
This won't be getting in the cross-country way either, I learned. I saw Brian out putting flags, and there's still room for them to run, so I'll second.
All right, it's been moved by Steve, seconded by Wes. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. On to superintendent's report.
All right, continuous improvement. We did talk a little bit about, I guess we didn't talk much about this, but negotiations, formal negotiations start this week. We did have Tom had a productive meeting with our Teachers Association last week to do some pre-negotiations. Formal negotiations can't actually start until after October 1st, so those will actually start tomorrow night. So we will begin negotiations with the Triton Teachers Association this week. We continue to seek to bargain in good faith, doing everything we can to provide positive contract for the Triton teachers. We will seek to get closer to the state expected $45,000 minimum for a teacher salary. With the news, I guess almost 2 weeks ago now, of 22% increase in insurance costs, that makes maximizing bargaining and teacher increase an incredibly difficult uphill battle. But with that being said, we will try to continue to improve this starting teacher salary for our teachers and appreciate the respectful collaboration that has taken place thus far in pre-negotiations. So we received a message from Paul today, and we just appreciate the way he's going about that. So I just want to say that publicly. Evidence-based decision-making, progress continues to be made on the implementation of SMECINS corporation-wide. Some are already implementing that, upper elementary through high school, but the primary grades continue to build that curriculum out for implementation next year. Melissa can fill in the gaps on that if necessary. Shared leadership, this has never been more active in both buildings than it is right now. The planned shared leadership model at the elementary school has been going well. Not without pinch points and things to work on, but Mrs. LaSure and Mr. McIntyre and staff are doing a great job. Communication and clear expectations are going to need to continue to be the daily focus with teachers and areas under their influence. The shared leadership at the high school was not as planned, but that too is finding its rhythm and footing. Mrs. Arvison has owned her dual role. Mrs. Faulkner continues to lead with established initiatives, and Mr. McCann continues to lead his staff well. Social responsibility and alignment, I put those together simply because it's just talking about we're ensuring that we're good partners with our community, but also aligning when we're in alignment, things move smoothly. So September 26th, Triton Gives Back was once again a tremendous success. Each grade level and staff member gave of their time to give back to our community and live out the social responsibility core value. Triton alum Trent Barnhart was on site to take an all-school picture, was able to get candid and B-roll for our updates to our website that was newly formed under the newly formed business of 2 Bar Media. And so that's going to be a good upgrade for our website as well. I want to thank you to thank all the businesses and partners that allowed us to serve. Thank you to our counseling department, Mrs. Sheets, Mrs. Faulkner, Mrs. Arvison, for providing such an organized and safe way for Triton scholars to serve. Accountability, this is a reminder that on Thursday, October 9th, Triton School Corporation will hold parent-teacher conferences. So the students will not be on site on Thursday. However, we will have a digital learning day, which I'll talk a little bit about as we follow. So elementary teachers will have a sign up for elementary parents and guardians, and will assign times to keep the day moving. The junior senior high school will have an open house style parent-teacher conference in the TAC from 6 to 8 p.m. Mr. McCann and Mrs. LaSure can give more details on that if necessary. Also, Triton School Corporation scholars will have our first digital learning day of the year on October 9th. If you recall, that was because of a day that was misplaced on the calendar, so we are going to make that up so we don't have to eat into some of our built-in makeup days, but our students are well equipped to do the digital learning as well as our teachers, so that will be smooth, and we're asking for that to be not a heavy work day. We're asking it to be reasonable and to make sure that those expectations are shared even before Thursday comes. So I would assume that that has already been talked about in classes and we're preparing for those things. So if they haven't been, we'll have a conversation. Practice on these expectations have been taking place over the last couple of weeks. Assigned tasks will be discussed and given to students as soon as possible. They will have a window of opportunity to complete these tasks, and teachers will be taking attendance based on the completion of these assigned tasks. Please be looking for guidance from your child's teacher or building administrator. I know Mr. McCann's sent out multiple messages just reminding teachers of that through School Messenger, just because I'm a parent of that and received those. High expectations as the 9 weeks come to an end. I want to thank the Triton teachers and coaches. Today happens to be National Coaches Day, who continue to provide high expectations for our students and their progress. Teachers like Mrs. Orlowski, who nearly each and every day keep a record of which students may need assistance in a particular subject area. Then teachers respond to that by providing help with these students in the area of influence. Our coaches have pushed our athletes to be their best, some since the middle of summer. As we approach fall state contest, our students are prepared to compete at a high level in both their conference meets, games, whatever that might be, in the upcoming state tournament. So thank you, teachers, coaches, parents, and community for the impact and encouragement you have for Triton scholars and scholar athletes. Last but not least, evidence-based decision-making. Data meetings are being held, are taking place at the elementary, junior high, and high school over the last few weeks. These meetings seek to evaluate the beginning of the year baselines of our students and seek to utilize this data to inform instruction. Melissa and Nate have led the charge within each building, and the goal is to continue to see improvement throughout the year in various assessments depending on which grade level our students are in. So I'd be more than happy to answer any questions of those.
We'll move on to building reports.
All right, so just to kind of piggyback on the curriculum piece, we've had each grade level gets 1 day a month to work on that reading curriculum, and it's going really well. And the upper grades that have been using it have given really great feedback. So we're really excited about what we're seeing on that. And for Thursday, we're looking forward to meeting all of our parents. I think just about everybody's got all of their meetings scheduled, but to any parent watching, if you haven't yet, please get a hold of your child's teacher. They would be happy to put you on the schedule. With that being said, so for Digital Learning Day, our K1 students will most likely have paper, pencil items to complete. And then our 2 through 6 will have activities to complete on their Chromebooks. But we are asking that the Chromebooks be returned on Friday and not be kept over fall break. So I will also get a message out and a reminder on that for parents as well. We do have a couple of candidates that we are going to interview to possibly fill Grace Allman's leave for the remainder of the school year, but I just continue to thank Terry Large and Janelle Bontrager because they're doing an outstanding job helping us out there. We do have some field trips coming up. We got first grade going to the Knollbrook Farms this month. High ability, this is really exciting. We have a new field trip, a little bit different for our high ability students going to Camp Mac for a day of activities. So we'll have more details going out to parents on that as well. And then PTO has Haunted Hallways on October 30th, which I know is popular among our students, so we're excited to host that again. Do you have any questions for me?
Okay, for the junior, senior high school, first of all, on October 1st, we had a choir concert, junior high and also our senior high, and then our Rhythmic Revolution also performed that night. Also on October 1st, we had FFA. They competed in their soil judging contest, and we had 2 groups of seniors that placed first and sixth, and they actually get to move on to the state contest at Huntington on October 18th. So congratulations to them. Marching band competed this last Saturday at Homestead, and I'm pretty sure came away with a second place finish in their class, so congratulations to them. And I believe this coming Saturday they are at Plymouth, so good luck to them. We are working on checkpoint number 1 for math and language arts, and probably not as smooth as maybe the elementary on that. That's probably my fault. But we're hoping to wrap those up soon. Some of those are going to actually be wrapped up after fall break, and then we will have all of our data meetings at that time, just to have an idea where students are at and where we need to go. We mentioned Mr. Yarbrough, and again, I just want to thank him. I've enjoyed the last 5 years working with Mr. Yarbrough, and we're going to start looking for his replacement. So as of tomorrow, that position will be posted, and we will collect applications probably through mid-November. Interviews hopefully early December, and then the idea is that individual would start in beginning of January. So just with that being said, I want to thank Sarah Arvison for stepping up. I challenged her with this opportunity, and she's hit it head on. She's just done a great job, so I just appreciate her support and help in this. This is a busy week. So tomorrow we have PSAT testing for all sophomores. On October 8th, then on Wednesday we have Dream Day for our juniors and seniors, and then also 6th grade is coming over to experience Dream Day. Thursday, staff PD, that's our digital learning day. So yes, hopefully staff are communicating with the students on what that might look like for individual classes. We will have some professional development for our staff. Parent-teacher conference is 6 to 8 o'clock in the TAC. You guys, so parents can come in door 9. And let's see here. Just some upcoming events. On October 23rd, we have our CTE fair, and that's when we take our sophomores over to Plymouth, and they'll have an opportunity just to see the variety of CTE options that we offer for our co-op. And then October 27th and 28th, we have our sophomore audits with our counselors. So, busy month. So, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
And I skipped over the patrons' comments between the building reports and the superintendent's reports. Does anyone here have any questions that we've discussed? No? All right, if not, we will move to adjourn at 7:32.